yeah, growing up, I had a little stint of trying to be someone that I wasn't. You know, I wanted to get more creative with life. I knew I wanted to get into the creative industry because I felt like with all the fights I was getting into and all the people that was getting on my nerves all the time and my aggression problems, I had to do something positive.
Yeah.
So I picked up a camera and I started filming videos from guys around my area. But the only problem was when you are surrounded by a lot of negativity, you can be the one positive person in this whole sea of negativity, but you will get drawn in one way or another. So I was never the type of person to like shot or like sell like drugs or anything. Like I weren't that bad, but if anyone touch any of my friends, I'm with them, no matter what. And there was occasions where I had like mad altercations, and I was trying to film, but I couldn't go to every area because my friends were not liked across the bridge. But I wanted to go across the bridge because as I was getting older and I found this passion for recording content, rap content, I wanted to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I was always like, so if one day if someone tried to hurt my friend, I was with them taking the beating. And there was times when I was just a horrible kid to people, and I regret every bad thing I've ever done, you know, that may have hurt people in the past. But I learned from it, and I just kept it going. I picked up this camera, courtesy again from my mum.
Yeah.
She bought me a £80 Panasonic camera, pre-HD, standard def. We're not even talking 720p. Like it was horrible. The quality was bad, but I was making it work. So then, my girlfriend at the time, she started. She had gone to school called the Peckham Academy, and then there was rappers there, and she knew how much I wanted to do this like filming thing. She was like, "Yeah, there's this guy that goes to my school. His name's Cash Tastic. He's amazing. He's sick rapper. Do you want to link him?" So then I started hopping on these trains and on these buses, and I was going and filming it. He was the first guy I filmed.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, then that went over. Then I went back over to Lewisham, and I was doing the Deptford. My friends from Deptford. And I was going over to Grove Park to link my friends from Grove Park, and then it just started getting to a point where the word of mouth was going around. There's this kid from Lewisham that shoots videos, and you gotta understand, there weren't that many people shooting videos anyway.
Yeah.
Like this was like DVD era, so there was like Streets Incarcerated. There was a few like independent DVDs, Risky Roads, and they're different things. But in South, we didn't have much going on. So I remember my first big break was like when Sneak Bro hit me up. And Sneak Bro was like, "Yeah, come to the hood, come to A-Town, just shoot." And I was shooting Sneak Bro, and I was like, "Bro, this is sick, this is amazing." Like, and then I started to clock certain types of views, and like everyone wants to know. And I think the game changing thing for me was when I got stabbed.
Yeah. When was that?
That was in and around again the period that I was shooting. So I was about 15.
15. Wow.
Yeah, when it happened.
And what happened? What was the kind of cause of it?
It's my own stupidity. I'm gonna hold my hands up again. You can't be a positive guy but yet still do negative things. And all it was is I was just flying this flag of like, look, I'm a Deptford boy. You can't, yeah, like that's it. But I was stupid because how am I doing that? But yet I want to be able to go everywhere and just do. Like I was living two lives. I was 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And then around my area, when I was by myself, I feel like I got set up. I feel like I just, something didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I remember I was riding my bikes. It just didn't feel right. You know, you get that energy. Sometimes you leave your house and you think, something ain't right. I'm going to stay at home. Everyone has the instinct.
Yeah.
I didn't use this instinct. I was coming back from a shoot. I had the camera in my bag. I just see these booky looking weird like guys from up the road from far, and I was like, you know what, fight or flight. But I'm like, nah, I'm not fighting this
I'm
one.
out.
I'm out. Sometimes you just know
Yeah.
when there's like people coming down, you just know like, look, this isn't gonna end well. I could die, like I could actually die, and I got caught around Lewisham Park, but which is the park behind the estate that I was living at the time.
So pretty much on your doorstep.
Pretty much on my doorstep. And I just got kicked off my bike, around my thigh, stabbed me in my leg. And I was like, I didn't go to hospital till like later on. I was trying to walk it off. I was alone. Then I collapsed. But the maddest thing is about why I'm a firm believer of fate and God. Lewisham Hospital is located directly across the road from Lewisham Park Estate.
Yeah.
Anyone from South East London knows what I'm talking about. So what are the odds of me getting stabbed that location?
Yeah.
And the hospital was right across the road, and someone called the ambulance, and I remember just waking up. I passed out. I think they have this like, I know it as a nebulizer, but it's probably not called that. Like where they gas you
They
to
put
sleep.
the mask.
The mask, and then you just fell asleep, and I woke up, and I just saw my mum in tears, and I was like, you know what, this is it. That's enough is enough.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do this, I'm putting all my effort in it.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do no negative things. No. Like I just wanted. It started from wanting to be cool, and a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of young guys like this. That they start off just trying to be accepted, and that's what I always try and explain to the world or to people without people twisting my words.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the media like to do too much. A lot of the kids like me just want to be cool.
Yeah.
They just want to be able to own a certain type of trainer, or they just want to look like the way people with money look. Because when you're used to poverty for so long and you feel like your councils are not doing enough to help the poverty, the impoverished areas, or people are not doing enough to just help our communities, and you're taking things away from us. There's only so much things you can take away from us as people before we turn around and say, look, this is enough. We need to get it.
Yeah.
We have to get it. Because I know what it feels like to go home and see my mum looking at stacks of bills, and then her just putting her head down and crying. I know what that looks like.
What was like your feeling towards that when you're seeing your mum in that position?
It hurts because you want to do something about it. You go over and ask, Mum, let me help. But I know for a fact, how can I help? I can't get a job half the time because there was around that age, I think for two reasons. I'm too young to work legally anyway. I ain't even got an NI number. So when I'm 13, 14, I can't work anyway. Going into 15, I think the legal age might be 16 or... I think so. So if these things are happening before that, what can I do? What income do I have? What income do a lot of these young kids have? What is there? They can't work. And even if they are working, they got to do voluntary work, but that's not going to put food on the table. So I find a lot of young people are having to do things like, unfortunately, go into bad like habits. A lot of things was happening that like when I was waking up and seeing these things. And I just want people to understand that we're not bad people. Like I'm around a lot of these young kids, like even if we're going to, sorry for going back and forth and going all over the place, but even if we're going to touch on topics like drill music and these kids talking about these things, people, a lot of it is over-exaggerated, and I'll keep it 100. I'll tell you this from now. A lot of guys are over-exaggerating in their lyrics, but people have done that throughout
course,
music,
yeah.
the
'Cause
existence
they're,
of
they're,
music.
I guess, painting a picture, isn't it, of
Yeah.
like the world that they live in. But
Exactly.
you know, it's like when you make a movie, you make it a bit more, you
A
push
bit
it a
more,
bit
yeah,
more further
you
out
do
than it
that,
actually was.
and it happens in movies.
Mm.
Like, you know, you might watch a Kill Bill, or you might watch something that's like, raw. These killings are over the top, but that doesn't stop them from creating movies like that every year. I think the issue we're having right now is people are always pushing a lot of these kids into a corner.
Yeah.
And you know, there's only so much you can push before it gets too out of hand.
Yeah.
And I think what we're starting to see in London is young people being pushed too much. Again, you're taking too much away from these kids. When you talk to people like Getz, people like Chip, people like Kano that have grown up in the grime scene, they will tell you their come-ups were similar. They were able to go to a radio station or a youth club and sit in a corner and stand like in a circle and spit bars.
Yeah.
Of like, and they had a community, a place to do that. We don't have that. So what you take that away from them, and then on top of that, there's a lot of there's housing problems. I've lived, me, my mum, and my dad, I've lived in 3 different council houses. Because some things that are starting to happen now is real. They're starting to even shut, like, imagine this, council housing, a lot of the times are being bought out by like independent contractors to build luxury,
Apartment
unaffordable
blocks.
housing, and then they're knocking down places that communities we've grown up in. So now we don't even know what our areas look like anymore. We don't know what our neighbours look like anymore. And then we're getting moved out to other areas, and what you're doing is it's a domino effect. You start moving people out of one community, then they're going into another community, and that community don't know who's coming in, and it starts getting silly.
Yeah.
There is so much problems, and I'm not a politician. And again, as I've said earlier on, I'm not Mr. Articulate.
Yeah.
I can't use big words and show you stats.
Yeah.
I can only talk by what I see.
Yeah.
So when I have this mantra called the voice of the streets, I'm going up. I'm not trying to say that I'm the president or the guy, the king of the roads and stuff. I'm not. I'm far from it. But when everyone was running away from some of these kids, I was standing by them. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I'm just going on, I got rambling too much, but
not at all.
like that's like where I'm at.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So what's like I guess, you know, there's a lot of issues and problems like you've just said, but what's the kind of changes that you'd like to see to make that more of a positive impact rather than something negative?
I think what we need to do is work alongside each other, because there's so many different elements to this. Even if you want to talk about policing, let's just keep it 100. The police's relationships with a lot of young people is not very good, because there's a certain image. Even my heart beats when police drive past me, and I ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But growing up, I'm so used to playing football in a cage in my estate, and police driving and pulling over, stopping and searching us, or questioning us when we're not doing anything. And sometimes we need to analyze how we are bringing police onto our streets.
Yeah.
I think we need familiarity with who polices our streets. So, i.e., there ain't much. I don't want to make this a race thing, but let's say there's not enough ethnic minorities community police.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know how some people that come out of jail and they have no jobs? I don't think people have even thought about potentially reaching out to some of these people that are trying to rehabilitate and trying to change their lives, that have come out of jail and don't have a job. I'm sure I don't know, I'm not a politician, but there could be funding that could allow people that have come out of jail or that can relate to kids coming through this crisis, working with community police.
Yeah, almost being like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a liaison person between,
or shadowing.
Yeah, like a community person. That's
Thank
kind
you.
of, yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of people that come out of these facilities don't ask for much. Some £7, £8 an hour, you know, like just shadow the community officers. Make sure that everyone's being dealt with correctly.
Yeah.
And then what then starts to happen is sometimes when young people see a face that we are used to seeing or we respect, we could be like, okay, cool. You know what? I might think twice before I do this.
There's also less tension, isn't there? Between
less tension.
Like you said, if it's someone you don't recognise or a stranger or, you know, the police person you don't necessarily know, you straight away you put on that defensive guard.
All the time.
Or if it's someone that you recognise and do know, I guess you can kind of have more of a face-to-face conversation without it feeling threatening.
Exactly. And even if it's, again, I don't want to use this as a scapegoat, but facilities in real life are being shut down. I dedicate once every 2-3 months to go to a youth centre or youth project to show my face, take pictures with the kids, listen to their music. I do that once every 2 to 3 months. Last one I done was Lost God Arts Foundation. You know, I just go and see what's going on, because there's literally, we can probably count on both hands the amount that are left across London, and that's ridiculous. I remember growing up in school, it was compulsory. There were some schools that they literally forced you to go to a youth centre that used to work in conjunction with schools. Imagine that, and academies. That's gone now. We got to do more to do that. You can't complain that these kids are out here doing a madness to themselves and you're not giving them platforms or opportunities
or
to
the
be
support they need.
or support. There are mums crying. There are dads crying. Like, there are kids are being buried by their parents. That's mental. Like, I've lost 3 loved ones. Like, over the last 25 years of my life, from birth till now. Even when I was 16, I lost a friend. 18, I lost a friend. Last 5 years, I lost a friend. This is getting ridiculous. And of course, there are many issues. But music can never be the priority issue. And another thing I'm going to say as well, because I'm just going to say it here because, you know, again, this is a platform that I respect highly. Music can contribute to an extent of how our young people might be influenced, to an extent. And I do my part, and I tell a lot of these young people in drill music, look, I love the music. I love the beats. I love the 808s on the instrumentals. That some of these drill producers are the most talented producers ever. Ever. The way their brains work. When I see there's some amazing rappers who, when they just spitting on some of these drill beats, they're amazing. But I do my best to educate some of these young drill MCs. I'm like, look, guys, you're seeing what's happening over here. You're just going to keep on getting shut down. Let's switch up the content a little bit. I do my part. Like, right now, I'm at a stage, even on my radio show, where I'm bringing on more real talk rappers.
Yeah.
And anyone who follows me would know I've not put on a drill MC in a little while. Not because I fell out of love with it, but I'm just trying to show the people who don't get it from the outside looking in that there's more to this UK rap thing.
Yeah.
It's not violence. It's not negativity. We're just commentating on what we have to wake up and live in. They don't have to live like the way we had to live. They don't see that. They don't see the poverty, and some of these kids are having no choice. Like, as in, they're kicked out of their house, landlord kicking out of their house if they don't make money.
Yeah.
Fast money. There is no other option for some people. And I bring some of these guys on a commercial platform because more ears are on a commercial platform, just so people can help us. It's a cry for help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally on the radio crying for help on behalf of these young people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm not ignoring the issues we're having. I mean, I'm not ignoring how important music is to young people. I'm influenced by music. But look at me. I grew up on the maddest music songs. I used to listen to Styles P.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Mobb Deep. I used to listen, and I used to feel like I was, when I had the headphones on, I used to feel like, yeah, like I can imagine being out in Brooklyn, and it's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
But it never made me want to do a mad thing.
Yeah.
It never did.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it never did. There's never a time I'd listen to a record and think, yeah, man, I'm going out there.
Yeah.
Never. And I know a lot of young people are like, they're like that as well, man.
Yeah.
They just really love the music, man.